If you want to move abroad with your family, do this that I'm going to tell you in this video and thank me later. Let me be very honest with you guys. Let me just tell you guys the real truth. Getting admission right now is very difficult despite the country. Getting admission is really difficult. Talk less of the visa and every other thing that's required. I was on a call with somebody. So a man and his wife, they booked one-on-one call with me. They were like asking questions, things to do. They want to move abroad with their kids next year, which is 2026. In about 2 months now, we'll be in 2026. So I was sharing some tips to them and I decided to kind of like make a video to also point it out to people who are also on this journey, who want to maybe move next year. So this is the thing. There are some countries that can actually allow you to move with family, which I'll be talking about here in this video. Now, let me just give you this hint. Let's say you are the man, the husband, you want to apply to school. Personally, what I advise this couples that called me, the thing is, I just finished the call with them though, actually. I told them, okay, what do you have? Do you have BSc already? Or your wife, what does she have? If both of you have BSc, wonderful, amazing. That means I will personally advise you guys, both of you, to apply, to any of these countries, to apply for, let's say for the same country. Let the wife apply for MSc, you the husband to apply for MSc too. Anyone that gets the admission, then both of you plan the movement together. If the wife gets admission, the husband is the dependent. If the husband gets admission, the wife is the dependent plus the children. Which is a very smart move, because in this time around now, it's more like you're not putting your egg in one basket. You're kind of like playing playing a game of being smart. Let me just say it that way. So that anyone that works, you move with that. In some cases where it's only the man that has the certificate, for example, the man that has BSc, the wife doesn't, or maybe the wife has the BSc, the wife doesn't, no problem. In that same case, what you do is apply to multiple schools. Let's say you plan to moving to, let's say, Portugal, or maybe Iceland, or maybe Ireland, any of these countries. Apply to multiple schools in this country, so that if anyone doesn't, one would definitely go through. Because I was with a call with different clients. Personally, the wife applied to 4 schools. 3 schools were not able to give admission, but the final school finally gave them an admission. At the point where they were losing hope, I was like, after the call, I told them, hey, chill, calm down. You have gotten results from 3 schools. We are still waiting on the 4th school. Let's see how it goes. And finally, after like 4 days after the call, I got a message. Hey, finally, 1 school came back with the admission. They are happy. I was like, that's it. When you play this game, when you play the game of, being like spreading out things out there, it works. It really works. That was the advice I was also giving them. Now, which country actually can you move with your family to that are pocket friendly? Mind you, I have to be very honest. I have to tell you guys the truth. There's nothing like affordable or cheap place you can move with your family. All these things need money. It requires money. It requires planning. This is something you need to sit down with your wife. Ask yourself, okay, we have this X amount of kids. We have this number of children. Okay, let's consider the visa application, which is the next stage. Let's consider our tuition fee that you pay to the school. Let's consider the flight. Let's consider the accommodation. Let's consider how things will be when we finally get there. This is something you need to have discussion with your wife or your husband. You guys need to plan and see how everything goes. Then once people have this plan all planned out, then you proceed. For example, let's start with country number 1 that I recommended for families to move to. For example, Denmark. Denmark is family friendly, but the thing is, it's not cheap. Their tuition is not cheap as well. But if you finally scale through in getting the admission, definitely you as a dependent, this is how the visa thing goes. You as the main applicant, you have to apply for your visa first. Remember for Denmark, you the main applicant, you the main person when you get admission. You don't need POF for Denmark because your tuition deposit slip covers your POF. It's only after you have put in your application, then your family now comes in independent. That's when you apply for them. The family now needs POF because they are dependent. They need to kind of like have money to, prove for their visa application and every other things. If you don't have information on this, I'm just saying, just ask questions, make research, take your time, use Google, ask questions and know how this thing is done. But if you don't, that's why I'm actually here. You can actually talk to me and see how we can look into these things, which I believe is good. One thing I need to say about Denmark is when you're applying to Denmark, apply to state universities, because I believe I've said it before, so there's some schools you can apply in Denmark, which they will not allow you to move with your family. 2, after your school, you need to go back to your country. But there's some schools that you apply. 1, you'll be eligible to work in the country. 2, move with your family. 3, also get job. This is something that I've said before. You can check other videos I've made about Denmark. They know how this thing works because Denmark made some law change around May this year, either May 25th. They made some laws on the immigrations, which I've pointed out before. You can still go back and check this things if Denmark is in your agenda. Remember, Denmark also need legalizations. All right, this is something you need to be aware. The next other country, which is I believe is also family friendly, which sometimes in reality is not cheap, even though it's cheap, but it is relatively cheap, is Portugal. Portugal is family friendly. Like I said before, if both of you have BXC already and both of you want to put in application for MSc, which is fine. But if it's the wife, in most cases, people I've spoken to most times, the wife is the one going for the MSc, which is very, very good. Then apply to multiple schools. Personally, I would say to be safe, target like from 3 schools up, target for 3 schools up. And for people that have families, one tip I'll give you guys is don't look at schools in big cities. Look at schools in other cities. 1, because you have kids. If you're moving in big cities, 1, the rent is high. Cost of living is also high. With all those family move and everything, kids, processes, schools, all these things, it's a little bit tedious to me personally, I would say. So look at schools outside Lisbon, which believe me, you will see. And tuition is very, very cheap. Recently, I posted about schools that are less than like 3k euros, for MSCs, which you can see and which is family friendly, which you can actually pay. And one thing about Portugal is you can pay in installment, 10 times divide your tuition fee, which is very, very good. Now, when it comes to Portugal, the visa process is easy but not easy. You need to go through legalization of your process, of your documents, your marriage certificate, those kind of things. You need to do it. Then for visa application, you are the main applicant. If both of you got admission, fine, one person goes with it. If one person gets admission, one person is the dependent and the kids, you people putting your application together. You discuss, okay, do I want to move first? Then family comes, or let's all move together based on your planning. Like I've said, sit down and discuss with your husband or wife and plan out things on how this thing is going to work for you guys based on your people's financial capacity. If you guys apply for the visa together and luckily you guys get the visa together, which is very good, then you guys can move together, which is also good. So I have talked to a lot of people about these things, give them cities that you can actually move to, cities whereby families you can go to, rent is affordable, it's not that high like the big cities, which is also good, a lot of things. And all these things is something that you can actually go to Google, make research. I've said this so many times. Then for Portugal again, the tuition I've said is cheap. Rent in other cities is not that high. Then you also need to know one thing about Portugal again is the application is not that easy. That was why I was giving admission. I was telling you guys, apply to multiple schools if you want to actually move next year. You need to kind of like strategize your plan, know how everything is done. And make sure, one tip again is make sure that you don't apply with unlegalized documents. Make sure you don't apply with unlegalized documents. You have few months from now. Start your authentication of documents. Start your legalization next year. Next year, January, February, March. Most schools are opening their windows for admission intake. Start applying to schools, and by God's grace, you will get admission and start your visa process. For the proof of funds, I've said it countless times. For next year, it's going to change. Definitely, it will change. POF for next year is going to change. For this year, the main applicant is 10,440 euros. If you divide it, it's about 870 euro per month. Then the main applicant, that's the amount person will have. The dependent, which is above for 18 years, 50% of that money. Then the other dependent, which is not below, which is below 18 years, like 25% of that money, coupled with everything. So family of 4, you will do the math. Main applicants will have 10,440 euros. Dependent, which is the wife, who is above 18, 50% of that money. The dependent, which is the children, depending on their age, calculate. All put together is POF for family. This is the same strategy you will use for next year. I have explained this so many times, which is pretty easy. The next other country which is family friendly is Iceland. But you need to be aware that Iceland needs IELTS. Alright? It needs IELTS. And your IELTS needs to be like, let me just say maybe 5 points, maybe say 6.5, 7 is to be safe before you apply to schools in this country. Iceland has cheap schools. And some of the schools is tuition free, which I've made video about. Just need to kind of like go back and watch or read and make research and see which one you want to go for. Alright? Then after you have gotten your admission in Iceland, you prepare for your visa and move with family. Alright, so even Italy too. Italy allows family, but you, the main applicant, need to be in Italy after 1 year then before you talk about bringing families and everything. So there's other countries that you can actually move with family, but it depends on the one you want to go for based on what you want. So that's just how it is. Guys, it's not difficult, but it's all about planning, having the right informations, having the right things put in place, putting all your documents together. Trust me, you will get the visa or the application you're looking for. Meanwhile, if you need guidance, personally, I'm here to help. And people that I work with are also here to help. And if you have information, just comment below and ask questions. Personally, I will respond and answer. So below this video description, there is the Telegram community. Join, ask questions. People are there to help and support even this process of legalization, authentication. If some people still feel confused in the whole thing, join the community. There are people there who respond, people who will help you in the process. If you need help or guidance in all these things, they will support you there. And subscribe to the channel, guys, and I appreciate everybody. All of you guys, I see all your comments, and I appreciate all of you. Subscribe to the channel, give this video a thumbs up so that it will be pushed out to people who are also looking for similar content like this. And I pray God Almighty will achieve the dream, because people that I've seen that have actually done this, moved, when I see the look on their faces, how happy they are, it gives me joy. At first, it won't be easy. To be honest, it won't be easy. It is stressful. It is time consuming. Time, money, energy. It takes all these things. But when you finally move and achieve what you want, you'll be so happy. Because definitely, it's not about now. It's about later. It's about the fruits of the labor that we're actually looking for. And I pray that everybody will actually achieve what he or she's looking for. Thanks once again, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace and bye for now. Thank you.